And hello, welcome. This is an introductory / proof of concept video for the Infernal Legion support. And TLDR, I'm kinda made it work. I'm actually surprised. It's not useless. So, pretty much summon skeletons, Infernal Legion support, some concentrated effects, and of course empower with a plus level of minion games. Yeah, makes the skeletons pretty much DPSy with the Infernal Legion. But here's the thing, I summon 8 skeletons at once, and they burn pretty much faster than you would usually do, because I have the 2 unique specters, scepters, whatsoever. My English is bad today. So here is additional mini Infernal Legion, I would call it. Because they burn your skeletons even more, and it pretty much brings your skeletons to the 1 second and a tiny bit, and they explode from the actual minion instability. This is the minion instability build. It's not the gen from the Infernal Legion that kills stuff, it's actual minion instability that are procced with the Infernal Legion that kills stuff. It's kind of counterintuitive, so Infernal Legion is kind of utility in this build, which allows this build to trigger the basically minion instability. And minion instability, it's your fire damage. So for the minion instability, you need your fire scaling. You can scale it with the elemental equilibrium. You can scale it with the curses, elemental weakness, and flammability. But it's pretty much for the big stuff, like the boss fights. Let's jump right into the map, and while it activates, also the other thing is from Dust Jewel. It's allowed you to summon actual 8 skeleton at once with a 1 second cooldown. So you have the cooldown, but it kind of works for this build because you do not want to cycle through your skeletons, and you will start to cycle through them pretty much at once. So it's actually beneficial to have this cooldown, and 8 skeletons at once, nice, because it's more damage. It's not 3 skeletons, it's 8. And each one, it counts as a damage, pretty much damage. What's with my English today? So as you can see, the clear speed is there, definitely there, absolutely. And when it lags, it actually means you do damage. Yes. That's how Path of Exile works, at least for me. As you can see, I have also the skitter bots. The skitter bots do reserve some mana, like 35%, but they have actually pretty much free shock for you. You do not do some wonky stuff to gain shock, and shock from the skitter bots, it's not 20% more, it's actually almost 25% more damage for your build, for your minion instability. So I'm using the chain hook with Fortify, so I have a bit more tank, and I can proc the elemental equilibrium to the monster behind the monster I hit with the chain hook, and I can also proc the, as you can see, the elemental equilibrium and the curses from the arc. I have the 2 curses in this setup, as I showed before, but it's pretty much not for the mapping, it's for the bossing or fat minions, monsters, if you counter them. And the Holy Relic is only one thing that can actually die aside you. Sometimes you will resummon it. And the point of the Holy Relic is to gain actual Feeding Frenzy. I do not have Feeding Frenzy on the skeletons because the real estate on the helmet is pretty much non-existent. So I have Feeding Frenzy on the Holy Relic, and when you actually hit with the chain hook, here you go, the Feeding Frenzy, your minions deal more damage. Nice. I think it's like 10%, but you know, everything counts. And other thing, it's not only 10% from the Holy Relic, it's actually the combustion support. It's even more -fire resistance. So yeah, it's pretty much your second debuff set up your holy relic. And actual chest armor, I started this build with actual soul rest and phantasms, but pretty much ditched them today for this setup with unique scepters with the skeletons only. It was a bit tankier with the phantasms because they are like mid shield. And so from the two sides, Blight actually pretty manageable if I will not be bad at the game. Like placing the fire tower when I need to place the cold tower. And just try to kill everything when you can, not to wait to the stuff overwhelm you. But if there are like 4 sides, man, no, this build will not go there. Alright. And pretty much in the situation like that, actual cooldown from the your jewel, the skeleton jewel, is a good thing because you will not panic and not cycle through the stuff like you can usually do. And as you can see, pretty much done. Usually it's a bit more tense. It's almost freebie with the 2 sides, but when 3 sides and the 4 sides you start to struggle, because yes, it's much more focused build than actual typical minion builds. So I started this build with the calm hearts, and actually it does work on everything at even tier 15 maps with the calm heart, with anything, like nothing, not anything, with nothing in the custom damage taken. So you can do everything in 50c unique side the tier 16. It's doable, the Guardian's doable, but it's much safer when you have all your custom damage taken. Immortal Call, Withering Step, pretty much great addition as well. And I have this gimmick Berserk because the chain hook kinda generating the Berserk, the rage for Berserk, so sometimes it proc, but I'm at this point like, maybe we'll ditch it, so no point to have it. So let's kill the Guardian. This Guardian is pretty long one, because it have several phases that you could not skip if you play an ordinary build, of course. There are some builds that will skip everything, but well, the investments there are much bigger than one helmet. So try keep your fortify effect on you at all times. It's pretty much no-brainer. Sometimes proc flask when you feel confident that you will not able to handle the pressure, because with the flask up you're going up like 80% of physical damage reduction. And of course the bone armor, great skill, gains you bleed immunity, not remove bleeding but gain bleed immunity, and pretty much enough to sustain anything and have free mod for your flask when you do not need to carry the anti-bleed flask anymore. As you can see, there is the bone offering proc there. I have the second setup with the bone offering, and the bone offering pretty much your free let's try not to die over here. So that's what happens when you are not concentrating on the fight. Here's the thing, yes, it's not the summoner build when you can AFK on the fight just running in circles. Yes, you need to be a bit focused. Because otherwise you will actually die even with 7k HP. What a boring fight. If the arena was a bit smaller, it would be actually better. Yeah. So proc your elemental equilibrium curses and kill stuff. Pretty much it. So thank you for the watching of the clear speed, and now I will go and get really boring because I will try to explain what actually happened in this build. So I explained the basic how it do work. So what I have in the setup, as you can see, I mentioned before, I have custom damage taken, the bone offering with the desecrate, so pretty much your free block because we have the ascendancy of the mistress of sacrifice, which applies your offering to you. So yeah, it's pretty much free block chance when it procs. And you do not need manually proc it. Like a lot of minion builds do manual proc of offerings, and it's awful. And because this build is you need to manage your skeletons, you need to maybe use your movement skill, maybe a chain hook, maybe actually the lip slam is actually great alternative for this build. For example, here we go with lip slam. It's kinda not the fastest one, this lip slam, but to gain the fortify, it's pretty much okay. I have only problem with that it do not proc the holy relic really great. Like you need to sometimes stop on the place, which a bit slow for me. So if you do not mind to go slower, the lip slam is actually a better option in my opinion. So the chain hook, and the chain hook is actually a pretty neat application of the elemental equilibrium. As you can see, you can do it on the place as well in the cone shape. So the arc, the chain hook, everything implies the elemental equilibrium, and you apply the elemental equilibrium. Oh my god! From actual this ring, because this ring have add cold damage. So yeah, you proc the mental equilibrium, you have minus 50%, in this case fire damage and lightning damage, but fire damage is the key. And yes, the summon skitter bots, your free shock and the better shock. Flesh and stone, a bit more survival, and when you have only 30% mana left, so it's kinda, yeah, I need the flesh and stone because it's 25%. The purity of ice, you can use pretty much anything else, the purity of elements, purity of fire, whatsoever. I went for the ice to have more resist on the Uber Elder. You can go actually for the Arctic armor. It's have the same 35 reserve. So yeah. Siege Breaker, pretty much useless. Kinda sounds great, but actual DPS is like, I don't know, like 5k DPS. It's laughable. I only left it because it's kinda work with increased life corruption and chaos resistance. So yeah. The gloves, the boots, the rings, otherwise pretty much standard. You can pick the minion damage amulet, but it's not the biggest increase for your DPS, so you can be fine without it. You can be fine with actually pretty much cheap helmet to clear everything. I went for this helmet to kill bosses a bit much faster. For example, this helmet, actually one exalt, I think it will not sell at this price point. I would most likely will sell it at 50c price point. Uh, so as you can see, nothing special. Immolate is kinda great, but not the thing that you need to look for. The minion damage and minion life and the socketed gems. Plus 3 is great, plus 1 or plus 2 is nice as well. Uh, summon skeletons, while summon skeletons, just to have this fatality or panic emergency while skeletons, nice, you can go for the standard. Level 21 would be great, but at this point, like, it's too expensive. Can you justify having one more level when you have already like what 6, 8 levels from everything else? I don't know. Maybe, maybe. Everything counts, you know. So other ascendancy is unnatural strength, as you can imagine. Mindless regression, you need it. Bone bearer, pretty neat physical reduction. And you can see if you summon minions, you gain physical reduction, and with the flasks you go up to 82. So yeah, pretty much defensible. You have also your bone armor soak of 2k damage. You have your custom damage taken, immortal call. You have your veteran step. Actually, pretty nice buff. I don't know. For example, let's proc the veteran step itself. It's 20% dodge attacks and spells, so it's kind of great and grants you phasing. Nice, and it's not guard skill, so when you using your bone armor, your immortal call actually on the cooldown, or for example when you're using your Val Molten Shell, it's actually also I think go on the cooldown. So yeah, immortal call is not permanent when you take damage. So having secondary stuff in this custom damage taken link is actually pretty much great. It's like additional layer of defense. So Berserk, as I said before, it's gimmick. Like I sometimes do proc it, but I think increased duration will be better. Just better. For example, let's see, increased duration, slam it here, your immortal call is better. Longer. So let's go here. The base duration 2.17, and if you take it out, it is where is it? 155. So yeah, I think the Berserk is not the best option there, and I pretty much will digit right now because it's do not proc as intended. So the other stuff that I should mention, of course, the skill tree. The skill tree is kind of big one. I min-maxed it quite a bit. Actually, the minion life is always better if you do not hit anything like regen or elemental resistance. Grab the minion life. It's better like than the same percentage of the damage. It is better than same percentage of damage more life because you need your minion instability damage. For example, over here is damage, over here is life. Do not go here because it's physical damage reduction. Not the smartest one. This is garbage. This is garbage as well because more elemental resistance. The skeletons burn longer. Not good, not good. Over here you have some mana management, here. If you actually do not need mana management, you can digit and grab more armor over here with the life. Over here, of course, Soul of Steel, nice node to grab, even on softcore. I know it's more like hardcore meme, but for the softcore it works as well. And Elemental Equilibrium, of course, some life, more life. Like if you use your minion skill in last 4 seconds, more 20% more damage. Nice. So the DPS wise, actually every pop of the skeleton, every one deals more than 300k DPS, not DPS, damage. Like so when it explodes like 8 skeletons, it's basically almost 2 million DPS, because if you have, for example, plus 3 levels, if you have max level summon skeletons, it will actually go almost 350, like almost 350. With the Ash buff, with the Shock buff, with the Elemental Equilibrium, with the curses. So it's your boss killing stuff. Scaling. So much it. So I think it's pretty much everything that I want to mention about this build. Of course, the links to the path of building will be in the description as soon as possible, and maybe I will make it in the guide on the forum. I don't know. Like, I have a mixed feeling about this build. It kind of works, but not overpowered as everything else with the summoners in this league. It works. If it will receive some buffs, I would be really happy. Like, I don't know, like, have this unique burning something else aside the skeletons, it will be pretty much great. Like, anything else aside this unique, I don't know. Like, skeletons only is really boring. Like, if there was one for the, I don't know, maybe phantasms like Soul Rest 2.0, I don't know, it would be really great. Like, Soul Rest 2.0 is actually sound really great, like one that burn your phantasm when you summon them and make them melee minions. Wow, that would be nice. But the dreams. Right, thank you for watching, have a nice one.